Hello. Today's February 19th, 2024. Today I'm going to be talking about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It was a pretty good book. I've never read a comedic book, comedic in air quotes, like whatever. But this book was actually pretty funny. I guess I could kind of consider myself a bit cynical when it comes to like reading a funny book. Like, really, are words gonna make me laugh? When there's no delivery, so to speak. No voice behind it in a way. But Douglas Adams, the author, does a really good job of. There's some times where I was genuinely chuckling. There's dry, sarcastic dialogue that's like, some of the characters have some whoosh moments where like jokes go over the top of their head, but like us, the audience, understand what the other character was saying. So it's pretty funny. And then there's just some like meta commentary on things like religion and humanity and things like this that I thought were pretty funny. Like how mice are actually the smartest creatures on the planet, things like this. It was just genuinely a pretty funny book, and that is what this is. It's a satire to sci-fi, that tries to make, some overarching points, like maybe like Dune or Foundation by Asimov, And there are some points here, like what we're doing to the Earth. I think Adams uses the demolition of the Earth as a way to show how silly we are in terms of like building certain things. Like, the Earth is so important to us, but on a galactic scale, like, yeah, we would demolish it to make a highway, things like this. And that's what we do with Habitat. So that's the one point, but it's not really like expounded upon. It's not the central theme of the book, because that happens within the first quarter of the book. That's not really a spoiler either, but if you feel like I just spoiled it, I'm sorry. It's really has no meaningful. It has no meaning to the plot, in my opinion. And that is one of the critiques that I would give this book. And this is my first time reading a satire, so I guess I'm taking it too seriously. But like, the plot is a bit hard to follow, even if there's, not a huge focus on like plot structure. Sometimes it can be hard to follow, as well as like action dialogue, but who am I to say that? Like, action dialogue is pretty hard, I suppose. One of the other things that I took away from it, even though I don't know if Adams was conscious of what he was doing, he probably was. He seems to be a pretty smart guy. It was the futility of like finding answers as us humans. Like, the humans keep technologically progressing, and they ask a computer, what's the meaning to everything? And this is a spoiler. After millions of years, the computer spits out 42, which, after I looked it up, 42 translates to an asterisk, like the star symbol. And I'm not sure exactly. I'm not like good with computers, but I guess that's what it is, which an asterisk is translatable to anything. So what's the answer to everything? Well, 42, an asterisk. I can never say that word correctly. Which I thought was, again, pretty funny. And it is a cool commentary on computers, and also just the futility of finding answers as human beings. Like, computers, it is worth mentioning how literal they'll take things. I don't know. I think you see where I'm going with that. But also just like what we decide to even consider answers are a byproduct of our human perception, right? And we think that the answer to everything is some grandiose, really difficult to attain idea. Meanwhile, the computer takes it that way. So like, when we ask ourselves what's the meaning to life, why are we here, etc., the answers are only attainable by us, but in our way. I don't know. I just think that was pretty interesting to think about. I don't really think there's a whole lot going on. It's more so just a good reminder of, I guess, the external world, what happens with like beyond human beings and outside of us. And then obviously the tagline of the book, in a way, is the Don't Panic, which is on the cover of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is a book inside the book. Don't Panic is just a cool reminder. That's really all it is. I know Elon Musk put it on the Roadster that he sent to Mars or something like that. Whether or not you're a fan of Elon, it just goes to show like the cultural relevance of this book. Yeah, don't panic, no matter what's going on. And one of the characters reminds the main character of this all the time, and they're like, "I'm not panicking." I don't know. It's funny. Yeah, don't panic. That's what like this book of extreme and all-encompassing knowledge is telling you, is to not panic. So like that idea coming from a source of wisdom is also kind of cool in its own right, you know, aside from just the notion of not panicking. You know, if something very intelligent is going to tell you not to do it, something that is definitely smarter than you is telling you to not panic, then maybe you should listen. And that's that. Like, it's a satire, so like there's not a whole lot, and it's a short book. It's very easy to read. Definitely would recommend it. You know, I guess from someone who just got done reading their first satire, definitely be prepared to like not have a whole lot of closure. It is a series. I don't know if I haven't literally looked into the series that much, but not a whole lot of closure, and like there's a lot of holes as well. Adams is not setting out to, you know, world build in any extensive way. Like, there's some interesting lore, but it never gets answered or things like this. But yeah, I would definitely recommend it. That'll conclude the book review portion. Today has been a pretty... I am reading What Kind of Creatures Are We by Noam Chomsky next. Can you see it? Hopefully you can. I might be too arrogant in thinking that I could read this, but we'll see. Definitely a very, very change of pace. Very big change of pace from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but I've definitely got an eclectic bookshelf. And, you know, I just got done reading fiction back to back, so we'll go to nonfiction. So yeah, if you want to read along, feel free. It'll definitely take me longer to read than Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but it's a relatively short book as well. Anyways, I had a rough morning just because yesterday I had an all-day shift and I was tired, but made it to class on time. And my 2 last classes of the day got canceled, which definitely are like lightening my mood, because now my day outside of school is a lot longer than it would have been otherwise. So that's pretty cool. I'll go to the gym. I gotta hit legs, which I have a really negative relationship with legs right now. I just don't like doing it. And they used to be my favorite, but still gotta get them done. And after that, I'm not really sure what the rest of the day holds for me. But yeah, it's Monday. Hope you've had a good start to the week, and peace and love.